accomplished through days 1 and 2, and what have you accomplished up to your expectations so far?
Just kind of build a foundation. First, see where we are. The other thing, just build a foundation and steadily improve on it. I thought we got better today, so I thought that was key. I thought we started out at a little higher level than I expected, and I expected it to be a pretty good level, but we just need to continue to improve. We got a lot of people doing a good job with individual plays, and then as we get the pads on, we get a better read on how we're playing as a team, and then work on that.
When you talk about putting those pads on, how has the intensity been? There's only so much you can do with just helmets on, but when you get the shoulder pads on tomorrow and Wednesday when you go full pads, what can you expect versus what you've seen?
Well, it helps to get the pads on because there's things that you can't see in pass protection, you can't see in finishing runs, you can't see in finishing tackles and things like that. So the pads certainly help that. And the offensive line and defensive line in particular positions, you get to see more out of them, and the running backs, I would say. And then so it definitely helps, but I also think it's a good first step. I don't have any you hear all these people complaining about not having pads the first 2 days. I think that's fine, and I think it's really probably a good idea because not only does it let guys kind of get out there and harden up a little, it kind of keeps us focused on basics and fundamentals instead of just explosions. So I think it's good for everybody.
When you talk about the practices as a whole, it seemed like it flowed pretty well. It seemed like a little sloppy there in the team part towards the end of the practice. Would you agree?
Well, team parts get sloppy when the pads are off, because that's the spot where it's tough to tell. There's a point to where these guys aren't trying to injure each other, and a defensive guy that maybe would have got a sack if he could have finished his rush, and an offensive guy that would have stopped a defensive guy, if he, if it wasn't there wasn't the concern of jacking somebody up or something like that. So, it goes both ways on that. So that does sloppy things up. I thought, Skell, I think you get a good indication. I think team, it gets a little bit clouded on both sides.
Tyler Hylinski had a lot of good plays today. Did you see him elevate in this practice in any regard?
Yeah, well, he's been playing pretty well. I thought he had a good practice, and the other thing is he's one of the most optimistic guys on earth, so I think that helps him, and I think it rubs off on the rest of the huddle. And then he's gotten to where he gets the ball off real quick, and he's always had pretty good feet, but now they're smarter feet.
Did you ever think you would see Cody O'Connell consistently leading the charge downfield for all the downfield blocking he's been doing?
I think he's definitely improved at it. He's always been kind of a quick guy. Despite how big he is, he's always been kind of a quick guy. We've never thought of him as a non-athletic guy. He's a guy that is real conscientious about doing things right, so sometimes he needs to just turn it loose. But, as he started to do that, he's gotten better and better. And then, the other thing, once he gets on a guy, he just kind of covers him up. And just the obstruction alone, even if it's not the best play by him, if he obstructs him, it's pretty effective.
From the mental and strategy side of things, how have you seen Hylinski progress through the spring and the summer and now?
I think just in general, just better command of what we're doing offensively, which I think that started definitely in the spring. And then, a little better kind of feel for his personnel. So I think he reacts more smoothly with his personnel than he did before. And then, then the other thing is guys kind of get in a rhythm and know what they're good at, know what to look for, and so all of a sudden there's that tough play, and then they, know how to react to it rather than just kind of thinking about it step by step. So I think that's helped him quite a bit.
Mike, Shalom probably didn't get much experience on the island defending the pass. And I know he had the JC experience as well, but is it pretty impressive that he's been able to pick that up as well as he has?
Yeah, I think so. Of course, they played some guys that threw it pretty good there, at his JC. He's always been athletic. He's always been a good change of direction guy on space. And then, all those soccer guys I've had have had great feet. And then he's naturally kind of just wound real solid. He's a real solid guy. He might be the most solid guy on the team, one of them. Just as far as if you poke him, he feels like a sturgeon or something. And but he does a good job. And I thought that about Game 4 last year, he kind of got in a rhythm and started playing with a little more confidence and things, and he's continued to improve from there.
Coach, it seems like Moulton and Marks have really been competing out there together. How do you like that matchup?
Both are really good players, both very good players. Moulton's a guy that really got out of the chutes fast last year, played well early in camp. Nobody thought he'd play. Everybody thought he'd probably redshirt, and he turned out to be one of the best corners in the conference. And so then him and Gabe are great competition, and both of them make each other better. So, and they've been, that we don't see, in the off season and whatnot. They go against each other every day there too. So, and both are just kind of tireless workers. So, the volume of work I think's helped them a lot on top of just matching up the abilities.
Is it hard to tell, Mike, when you're recruiting a kid whether or not he's going to be a guy who could contribute right away?
No, it's nearly impossible. It's nearly impossible. You can tell talented guys, but some guys it takes longer to adjust, and then some guys will hit some kind of a growth spurt or something like that, and then they show up and they're just a little more talented than you realized. And but if they don't let their head get clouded just by living in a different place, the independence, the class being different, and all that stuff, a new town and everything, then if they get out there and just do what they can do and what got them here and then build on it, those are the guys that have the chance to contribute. And then of course there's a lot of guys that are real talented that go on to have incredible careers, but one of the biggest keys is adjust quick, and then you can continue from there. You can build on what you are able to do. But if you don't adjust quickly, then you're fighting through that. You're seeing you're adjusting, and then once you get adjusted, then you build on it. So it does put them ahead of schedule.
Okay, good with Coach?
Yep, thanks, Coach.
All right,
you.
thanks.